I I don't know if I'm going to post the other rant, but I did a rant talking about how I have a bit of an opinion about Pokemon fans, and I realized I should talk about if I were to design a Pokemon game. Now, would be with like perfect everything functional. Like all the controls are functional, all the modes are functional, everything is functional. Okay, that's the first thing. What would I do? Well, it would be very complicated. I think mine would have the most room for margin for error just from what I want. Because here's the thing. I want a Pokemon game with everything. Yeah, I know this seems like a lot, but hear me out. Here's what I would do. And this changes from Pokemon game to Pokemon game, but it would have all the locations. But you wouldn't have them all unlocked at once because that would be so fucking dumb. What it would do is you would pick the location you started. And I mean for all the locations from Gens 1 to 9. So you would have Johto, Kanto, all the regions. Plus, I would throw in Kitakami and the Blueberry Academy because why the fuck not? I mean, people liked exploring there. And later on, potentially time portals to Hisui and maybe to where the new ZA game is, if it's a time portal thing. And this would be a world where all the gimmicks exist in once. Like people talk about the Mega Evolution versus no Mega Evolution timelines. I don't subscribe to that theory. Fuck that shit. It's just Mega Evolutions aren't legal in some regions. That's it. That's it. But this would be like a world where Mega Evolutions are all legal, but some places have other gimmicks, and some places don't have the ability to have these gimmicks, and other places do. And there would be the Ultra Wormhole bullshit. There'd be all this stuff. But you would pick your starting region, which would be your home region. Your home region, you would pick the starters from there. But the stars would also be found in the wild because, it'd be stupid not to. And, of course, Blueberry has all of them anyway, so there you go. And you would... One of the points... there would be multiple storylines in the game, multiple routes, and eventually be able to travel between to do all the storylines at once. But the main one would obviously be beat the gyms and become the champion of that region. And you wouldn't be able to do the other gyms and other regions until you got the champion in the region you're working in at that point, just to streamline it a little bit. And you would start to gain access to... you would already have access to Z moves and Mega Evolutions because they do seem to not be locked into one region, mechanically, but, and you can kind of guess this would be a very open world game, so you would already have access to those, but you'd also, if you say, went to Galar, you would have access to Dynamaxing. If you went to Paldea, you would get a Terra Orb. And also you would be able to enroll in the Blueberry and the Naraha Uva Academies. To gain education, and those would be two of your quest lines. Along with, instead of making a game that people would want to obviously to be like an altered version of like all of the mainline games, like the stories. So yes, you would be dealing with Lysander's bullshit. You would be dealing with Gexus's bullshit, and it would be Black and White 1 and Black and White 2 would be like the two things at once. You would be dealing with Giovanni's bullshit. You'd be dealing with Luminise's bullshit. You would be dealing with all this on top of that, and you'd probably be doing those quest lines like simultaneously. You'd be doing Team Star stuff, you'd be doing Arven stuff, you'd be going into Area Zero. It wouldn't be separate colors either, no. Fuck that. I always hate that. It's better now with online, but I hate that shit. No. You would be doing a double battle with the AI Sada and Toro, okay? That is the fuck shit I'd be pulling in this game. And yes, this would be taking the stories from all the games and combining them essentially, maybe interconnecting them so there'd be like a lot of rewrites. And you'd be discovering other mysteries, like maybe you would see the original dragon. Because again, time manipulation would be a thing. And yes, I would throw Volo into this as kind of a major bad guy who's manipulating everything at once. I obviously don't have the story fully hashed out. This is just a dumb idea I have. But you would have all these gimmicks by the time you face him. And you're also going for the Pokemon Masters, which would probably be held in like another island, like a new area. So yeah, it would be very chaotic of a game. But you would be able to get a full dex for one. Like, I'm talking like every single fucking Pokemon, including the Paradoxes.
Oh, no.
Past and future.
Wait, what's that? Oh my god, oh my god.
So, yeah. That's just my idea for, like, a Pokemon game. Very rough idea. And yes, I would actually take some ideas from Palworld, because I know people love the Palworld stuff with the survival stuff and, you know, all that stuff from Legends Arceus, Pokemon Ranger. Like, you could even get occupation. Oh, another thing. Your character would be a fucking adult, because why are we sending kids out? That always bothered me. Literally, that always bothered me. And this is my idea, so I get to decide, no, fuck that shit. We're sending an 18-year-old out, okay? Not a 10-year-old, okay? An 18-year-old. Someone who can get a driver's license. Because I'm pretty sure 10-year-olds can't drive in Japan. Like, I don't think driving is that common, but I think if you do get a driver's license, I'm pretty sure it's not 10 years old you can get your license. I'm like 99.9% sure of that. I'd have to look it up, but I'm pretty damn sure. But yeah, there would be like all of those mechanics as well. You would have a variety of ride Pokemon, not just like Koraidon and Miraidon. You could select, say, a Cyclizar or a Ponyta, or like anything that could be like, there'd be limits. Like, you're not riding an Obstagoon, okay? You're not riding a Pikachu, as funny as that would be. You ride your Pikachu, Pikachu would be squished. Okay, no, you're not riding a Pikachu into battle. You're not riding a Floette into battle. You're riding something sensible, like a Tauros or a Cyclizar or an Onix or a Steelix, or, you know, something big enough to carry you. And, you know, if it can fly, it will fly. Stuff like that. But you would go through all of these different plot lines, and probably like some newer ones as well, dealing with the evil teams maybe teaming up, and you gain allies to help you. You could cultivate relationships with not only the other rivals, because you'd probably get like a lot of like rivals, and obviously the story would change depending on which region you start in. Full disclosure, I'd probably start in Galar myself, as much as I am from New York. I started in Galar quite literally playing Pokemon games. Like, I knew of them, but I didn't really play them. As a fun aside, my first actual played through the whole story Pokemon game was Pokemon Sword and Shield. And I absolutely adored it, so, hey. But, or you could just get a bike as well, by the way. Like, come on, the bike thing is fun. If you don't want to use a ride Pokemon. Like, it would take, like, a lot of the fun mechanics everyone liked in the original games and just kind of squish them together, combine them into one big game of, like, all these characters you cultivate relationships with, talk to. You could talk to Snaxwell. He'd probably give you, like, different rewards. You can talk to all of the gym leaders, and all the teachers, all of the champions. Like, you could get Cynthia to be your buddy in this game, would be one of the things, which would probably make a lot of people really happy. But you'd have to deal with, like, a lot of the bad guys, and, again, I'd come up with a plot line where Volo was orchestrating a lot of shit that you didn't know about, and maybe certain evil team leaders start teaming up with him because he's promising them shit that they really want, or they think they can use him for something. Like, Gexus might team up with him, Giovanni probably would, Rose definitely would. I have a whole rant about Rose. I have a whole rant about you deal with, like, being on either Raihan or Iono's stream, crazy shit like that. So, that's just my idea. Tell me what you think.